So measure, don't guess, right? Have tools and instruments to help you understand what's going on in the environment. Family of 3 would have been dead on Sunday had that not been resolved.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, unbelievable. But just because we
Yeah.
understood the importance of measurement. In fact, do you know anything about carbon monoxide? And they say, yeah, it's not good. I said, yeah, it's a colorless, odorless, poisonous gas. So do you know how much carbon monoxide you have in your air right now? And they're like, huh? I do this in front of contractors all the time. Does anybody in here know? Everybody's got their instruments with them right here. Hold your hand up and tell me if you know. If you got carbon monoxide in the air that you're breathing right now. And everybody just looks at each other. I just did this for a whole group of territory managers a couple of weeks ago. Who has any way of knowing that right now? I said, I do. I got a little personal CO monitor that I carry with me everywhere I go. It sits in my office when I'm sitting here, and I'm in a total electric house because I know it can creep up. Because I shouldn't say total electric. We have a gas water heater on the other side of this wall, but it's outside in the garage, thankfully. But I got 0 parts per million right now. Rob, how much do you have?
I'm hoping it's 0.
Oh, hoping is
my
not an
detector's
answer.
not going off. My detector's not going off.
Yeah, but okay.
But
So
point
there's
taken.
another question.
Point taken.
When do they? Yeah, there's actually a difference between alarms and monitors. An alarm works off of UL 2034. All right, that's the standard for that thing that's on your wall. You know when it starts alarming?
Is it 0.05 or what is it? What is it?
You have to get
5
70
parts
oh my God. Parts per million
yeah.
for 3 to 4 hours of continuous exposure before it can even alarm. Now, I got an 8-month-old grandbaby. Her lungs are about big as my thumb, right? She was born really small, right? She's a little bitty girl. She absolutely could not tolerate 70 parts per million of carbon monoxide in her little bitty lungs. It would displace too much oxygen and she would be potentially not here, right? And the bad part about it is when you look at what is currently out there in the marketplace and you don't understand those relationships, you're just thinking you're safe. And in reality, you have no idea. So measure, don't guess, right? Have tools and instruments to help you understand what's going on in the environment. And when you're talking to consumers, you help them understand. This little tool right here, this is a product from SensorCon. I don't know if you guys market these guys or not, but you ought to look into it.
Yeah, okay.
SensorCon Inspector, it's called. It's a little bitty belt loop type thing. So it's got a little belt clip here. You pop it on your belt, you walk around with it. Got a guy in Pittsburgh area. Service technician was called by his boss. It was a pretty cold Pittsburgh day, Friday afternoon. Customer, a brand new customer, potential customer, never bought from him before, calls him up and says, hey, I need a price on a mini split. We're renovating this house and we want to put a mini split in the house, and we need a price. And this guy's sitting there saying, man, it's cold as crap out there. We're running all kind of heating calls. We don't have time to go give somebody a price on a mini split on a renovation of a house. But he had a service tech that was close by. He says, would it be okay? He says, we're really super busy right now. Would it be okay if I send a service tech by to get some measurements and take a look at it for you so we could get you a price? Said, yeah, that's great. So he goes over there and they've been through our carbon monoxide and combustion efficiency training. And he has one of these guys on his belt. He walks in the house. It starts alarming. He's like, what the heck? I'm just coming to give a price on a mini split, right? He looks at it. It shows 200 parts per million. He says, ma'am, I need to go put a new battery in this thing. It must be, something's wrong with it, right? He's thinking it's the instrument. There's no way there's 200 parts per million in this house, he's thinking. He goes back out, puts battery in it, lets it reset in the fresh air, goes back in, alarms again. He's like, okay, this thing must be broke. Let me go get my big gun out there. He goes out and gets his combustion analyzer out of the truck. He's a trained guy, knows how to use a combustion analyzer. He walks in, it said 210 parts per million. He's looking at the lady. She's starting to get a little worried now. What's going on? He said, ma'am, I know I'm here to give you a price on a unit, but I'm a little concerned. You got really high levels of carbon monoxide in your house. Is there anyone else in the house besides you and me right now? And she says, well, yeah, actually my son came home from school and he said he got a really bad headache and he wanted to go lay down. And of course, the Zach is the technician's name. Zach says, well, we need to go check on him real quick. They go in there and fortunately they were able to wake him up, but he said, we need to get out of the house and sit outside. I'm going to open up the windows. We got to figure out what's going on here. And she's freaking out about that point. She calls 911. They come out. They all had CO poisoning in their blood.
Oh,
And he goes downstairs in the basement. He was there to give a price on a mini split now. He goes downstairs in the basement and he finds a brand new condensing water heater installed just a few days earlier with the vent pipes not connected.
my goodness.
It was dry fit. It was not even glued up.
My goodness.
Right.
Mm.
And this was a Friday afternoon before a snowed in weekend in Pittsburgh. Okay, they were going to be snowed in that weekend. There was a big snowstorm coming in. This family of 3 would have been dead on Sunday had that not been resolved.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, unbelievable. But just because we
Yeah.
understood the importance of measurement. And that's the kind of stuff that we teach with NCI. And there's so many contractors that come to these classes after they've had an incident that involved lawyers and judges and things like
I
that.
think you need your own podcast, David, and tell some of these stories.
Yeah, it's kind of